It's a global pandemic, and the world all over is on lockdown. And so, what we're doing back home in Nigeria and also back home in Kaduna, how well we're truly representing or staying out as our brothers keepers. We'll be talking about all of that, and how can we help in this situation where we all it's all about pains and sorrows for some people who are mourning their losses. But here we are still alive and thanking God that we are alive and will get come over the situation that we are all in. This morning I have a guest with me in the studios, and we will be looking at just how much we are doing to help our neighbors and, of course, citizens of the state. My guest this morning is a former member of the Federal House of Representatives, who represented Zangon Kataf Jaba Federal Constituency, and was also Senior Special Assistant to President Olusegun Obasanjo on National Assembly matters. He was also interim chairman, Zangon Kataf Local Government, and now president, Southern Kaduna People's Union, SUKAPU. My guest this morning is Honorable Jonathan Asake. Good morning. Glad to have you in our studios. Yes, and just, a background there was to say about, what we can do to help humanity in this situation that we found ourselves, being our brothers keepers. For SUKAPU, it's about members of that union, but it's also citizens of the state. Where is SUKAPU coming in, and how is SUKAPU coming in this time around to, bring succor and to faces that are deep in pains at this time?
It is not new to anybody that the world all over, we are in challenging times brought about by the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic that is ravaging all over the world and has brought about measures implemented by governments in all countries of the world to curb this virus and the spread. And it is the same thing here in this country, Nigeria. We all know that we are also in a lockdown situation, and in Kaduna State, we're in a lockdown situation. And the lockdown situation is not for anything but to protect the people and stop the virus from spreading. It's one of the measures that is necessary to be taken so that the virus will not spread. But this lockdown has come with its own attendant challenges, attendant problems. People are inside their homes, they cannot move out. We know that there are people that get to feed their families on the daily activities they partake in. Some just go to the market and sell or buy, and some go to the field to farm or do other things on daily basis before they generate the income that they can feed their families with. And so in a lockdown situation, people definitely will face food shortages. And so because of that, government has brought out palliative measures to help ameliorate this difficulty, these challenges. And not only government, even some good-spirited individuals and organizations have been contributing. So we in SUKAPU are complementing these various efforts by the government and by organizations and individuals to help tackle this challenge of food shortages brought about by the lockdown. And that is why we have called on our people and good-spirited individuals, organizations, and the general public that whatever anybody has, either in terms of cash or food items or essential commodities that are necessary for the people that are suffering, they should just channel it to us. And we have given our address where our secretariat is, and we have begun to receive goodwill from so many people. People sending Indomie and other food items. And we've been receiving cash donations also. People giving 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, and we appreciate that. So we have been collecting that, and that is what we are going to use to also play our own role to complement the effort of government and other organizations.
Well, at this point, I'd just like to know, attention would be on the less privileged in the society, I'm sure.
Attention will certainly be on the less privileged. Those that know they are sincerely and critically facing food shortages in their homes.
I'm just wondering how you'd get to identify them.
Yes, we actually have developed a template how we can identify. We cannot have 100% identification, but we will get to some very high percentage of identifying those people that are really in need and cannot fit.
Again, Sokapu is about membership here, but again, what you're doing is service to all, to humanity. And I'm just wondering, just how much have you gone on this? Government has done its own, is still doing its own on palliatives to cushion the effect of COVID-19 as it is. But you're coming as a union, as a body to help it. Is it about just membership alone, or you know, in and around Sokapu?
Yeah, you see, it's not just about membership. When humanity is facing challenges, it affects everybody because we live in the same environment. And so when hunger sets in, it does not choose whether you are a Sokapu member or not. It does not choose your denomination or your religion or your ethnicity. So we must hold our hands together in these challenging times. And that is why Sokapu is not going to select whether it is Sokapu members or not. Sokapu is complementing, like I said, the effort of government and other organizations in trying to see that we feed the needy at this critical time. And let me just say this, this is an ongoing thing. As long as the disease called coronavirus has not been curbed, as long as the lockdown is still in force, and if it is feeding, when you give somebody, you know, 4 measures of rice today, give him 3 days and his family, it is gone. So it is an ongoing thing. So donations will be taken from the people and will continue to play that role until this lockdown is over.
Are you working on a precedent? I mean, that you know, something that could have happened in the past.
Certainly, certainly. You may recall that in 2019, there were invasions across communities in Kajuru local government and other neighboring local governments, but particularly in Kajuru local governments, where the Adara people were grossly affected and were displaced into IDP camps. So there was a very similar challenge that we have today of food shortages and other essential commodities. And so Sokapu, I was not the president then, but the immediate past leadership under President Solomon Musa organized a very similar program where people contributed immensely and truly relief was given to those people until the end of. So we have a precedent for that.
Yeah, again, this time around, one would just be asking measures that they put on ground to save us and to keep us at home, locked down. And I'm just wondering what methods you use to, you know, reach out to the people. How do you get to do that?
Oh, you know, we are living in a time of social media. So we have actually constituted a committee made up of very well, carefully chosen people across party lines, members of Sokapu, across religious lines, and carefully selected them and constituted a committee. And that committee is reaching out to individuals and organizations for this support. But we have also taken the initiative to reach out to the general public, taking advantage of the social media. We have WhatsApp groups, we have Facebook, and so we have reached out to the public on that, and we have shared the account number of Sokapu. And I'm telling you, the responses are just awesome, because each time you see people sending in, you see somebody sending in 1,000, and whenever I see an alert of 1,000, and I say, God bless this soul, because you know it is the widow's mite somebody has tried to give. And so even if you have more than that and you can part only with 500, we are going to use it. And so the responses have been wonderful.
Nigeria is we are all on a lockdown, and Kaduna State has extended its lockdown program that it has, all on the coronavirus thing. And taking it from the general perspective, what the government has done, looking at the federal and the state government, in terms of palliatives that it has given to people, are you satisfied with the level of palliatives that are coming from governments, of the states and at the national level?
Yeah, you see, the most difficult area in providing these palliatives is the distribution. It is true that government will always bring out a very large quantity of palliatives in terms of cash, in terms of materials, but sometimes the distribution, the agents of distribution, the lapses are always found there, and so it does not, most of the time or some of the times, not get to the people that really need it. And so once that is observed, it is just to review the process. So my own advice here and my own call on government is to review the process of distribution so that effectively those people that really need these palliatives can get it. Those people that really are unable, those vulnerable people that are unable to feed their families, that these palliatives can get to them. It cannot get to everybody because there's a population of 200 million people. So no matter the amount of palliatives, but that is why it is called palliatives. It is actually to ameliorate the suffering until this problem is over.
And then we're looking at a situation where I'm talking about how you would call on your own people now to be part of this process of saving us all from this coronavirus. I'm talking in terms of visits that people have traveled, and Kaduna State is a typical example of what has just happened. We have also identified 6 positive people now in the state. That may be part of why we have a lockdown that would last for this long. But when you talk about how citizens should come in too, what are you expecting from citizens in this period?
This is a war situation. War situation in the sense that in a normal conventional war, you hear machine guns and bullets flying everywhere, destruction and the sound. But this war is a unique war because the enemy is not seen. That is why people are thinking, oh, this is a joke. It's not a joke. It's a very serious thing. The enemy is a virus, but it's more deadly. And that is why the only way to curb this enemy and defeat this enemy squarely are the measures that are being taken by the governments all over the world. Not only the government in Kaduna State, not only the government in Nigeria, all over the world. It is a general prescription. This lockdown thing is necessary. If there is a war now, people will stay indoors. Even if you are hungry, when you hear the bullets flying outside, you will stay indoors to be alive. You need to be alive. And I'm calling on our people that please, this is not a punishment. This is a measure that is intended to stop this virus as soon as possible. And the more people comply, the earlier this virus will be defeated. And if this virus is defeated, nobody will say you are locked down in any way. So let us see this as a war situation. I know it has come with its own attendant sufferings that the people are going through. And I am still calling on our people, please, to bear and endure and remain resilient. It will soon be over. We thank God that in this country, that we have not seen what is going on in Europe, particularly, and America. America today has lost over 50,000 people in this corona. Which war will take that much people? Spain has lost over 25,000 people, getting to 30,000. And the same thing with Italy and France. Most of them have gone over 20. These are people. These are not birds. These are not insects. These are people that are dying on daily basis. And the solution to this, based on research, based on what medical people have recommended, is this lockdown. People should reduce social interaction. And that is why even when one is going out, you have to keep the social distance. If you are on essential service, you have to keep a social distance of minimum of 2 meters from each person you meet. And the wearing of these face masks has become like, I want to see that that government will enforce this wearing of face masks, just like we check vehicle license when you are moving along. When they see anybody going about without his face mask, is to arrest that person, because you are driving without your driver's license. And so the face mask should be like a driver's license, because it is that face mask that reduces the amount of droplets that comes from the mouth and the nose when a person sneezes, and even the eyes when there are tears coming out. Those droplets from an infected person will always reach out and infect others. So it is a very good measure to curb this virus. And like I said earlier, if this virus is defeated on time, then the lockdown situation and the hardship we are going through will soon be a thing of the past. But it can only be defeated when we cooperate. It can only be defeated when we abide by the instructions that we are given to stay at home. When we have to move out, we put our masks and we sanitize, wash our hands every time. When you touch anything, when you go out, before you go into your house, don't touch a door, don't touch anything, wash your hands outside, put on the sanitizer. And if we observe this virus will be defeated within a short time and will be free again. And I look forward to that day.
Let's take ourselves to the national space now. For some analysts, they're saying that much as we abhor that this disease, so to say, there's ravaging humanity today, we're also talking about coming back home to Nigeria, that it has also exposed our planlessness as a nation, especially when we talk about the health sector. That our health sector has really been exposed as one sector of our national life that has not been properly taken care of, in spite of there's so much funding and budget that's been put in the health sector. That we're seeing it now, that it's an emergency thing that we're doing in the face of all of this. How's your position on this?
If you remember, I said God somehow just had pity on Nigeria and most African countries because of what you are talking about. If we were to face the challenges that are being faced by other nations like Europe and America today, I'm not sure 10% of the people will be left in this country because of what we talk about, this blindlessness. It has exposed the weaknesses in our critical structures, critical institutions of the Nigerian society. And it is not only the health sector. It is because the health sector is receiving that challenge now. But there are many institutions in our society, in the Nigerian society, that are so weak that it is only when the challenge comes before it that you will now see how weak it is. And that is why we need our leaders to really take a clean look at our institutions and strengthen them. That's the mark of leadership, to do the talk, not only talking, because this thing has exposed us. If we look at China, with all their strong institutions, very strong health sector, look at America, look at Italy, look at Spain, all these countries, France, they have been dying by the thousands. Even with those strong institutions, what will it be if it is Nigeria? What will it be if that challenge is in Nigeria? So I think God just favors us. He knows we don't have any strength, we don't have any strong institution or a strong health sector to fight this virus. And that is why he's still pitying us. But he's giving us time so that we can really look at it. It is not too late. We can really look at the health sector and put those institutions, channel our resources to strengthen those institutions so that we can be a strong nation. Because health is wealth. If we want to be a wealthy nation, we must be a healthy nation. And without health, we can never get the wealth that we want. We'll be a poor nation.
Are you spiritual about COVID-19? Are you spiritual about it? Or that it is something that has come, but again, you're talking about how Nigeria has been favored in all of what is happening to the whole world today. Are you going spiritual on this?
No, maybe I say God because I believe in God. But I mean, somebody who does not believe in God will just say fate has smiled on Nigeria and other African nations. Maybe the person will call it fate. Whatever it is, whatever the force that has made this virus to be restrained for the whole of this time, it is just giving us the time to think and think deeply and see where we channel our resources properly, and that the resources that we have, and now look at the challenges that are coming. Look at the oil that we have so depended on for years, that has brought about the corruption and the hatred and the infighting across the zones and whatever. That oil, it is giving us a signal. Coronavirus pandemic has come to give us a signal that we may wake up and we may not find revenue in the center, where we just wear our rolling shoes and run to Abuja and collect revenue and come and we don't develop critical infrastructure for the people. If that revenue is not there, we have to begin to think out of the box. Where are our groundnut pyramids? Where is the cotton? Where are other ways? The agriculture that is the main source. Look at other nations. If they have this kind of environment that Nigeria has, agriculture alone will be more than 10 times more than the oil that we have depended on. But we have abandoned that also. So when we talk about institutions, critical areas of survival of a nation, agriculture is one. And so this is the challenge that we have. It is a time again for us to think out of the box. If not, very soon, we might not be able to cope with our national life. This is a challenge. And so coronavirus has just come to give us a preview of coming attractions, a dress rehearsal of what is to come. We have to think out of the box, generate other sources of revenue. But unfortunately, with the attacks going on in the rural communities that are farming communities, just imagine the amount of yam that can come out of Benue State. Just imagine the amount of corn that can come out of Kaduna State around the Saminaka axis. Just imagine the amount of tomato that can come out of the axis of Ikara all the way to Kano, and vegetables. But the onslaught by the bandits, by the herdsmen, has chased all those farmers into IDP camps in most of these areas. And so people cannot go to farm. So even the agriculture. So there is going to be food insecurity if this is not checked. And so coronavirus again has come to remind us that we need to look at certain critical areas. This money and other materials we're looking for is not only for those in a lockdown situation. Even before this lockdown situation, Bagi communities, I can tell you in Chukwu local government and Adara communities in Kajuru local government, several of these communities have been invaded and sacked into IDP camps. And they are not even in IDP camps, they are staying with relations. So we were already having a program like this, just directed at the Bagi communities that have been sacked. Over 15 or 18 Bagi communities have been sacked. And so while we were planning on looking for making an appeal for funds and relief materials to be given to these people, then this lockdown situation came. So it has added to two. It is not only the people on a lockdown, but even the Bagi communities.
Well, again, I'm going to the national space now. What do you say? What's the position of state governments? Going cap in hand to Abuja, so to say, or the federal government to depend or to wait for funds to come on tackling issues that states could have tackled on their own.
That is what I am saying. The state government going cap in hand is just the virus has exposed that we thought we stand, but we are not really standing on our feet. We thought we were strong, but we are really weak. We thought we had resources available to us and that we can do rascality with the resources that nature has endowed this nation with. But without managing of those resources, proper, effective managing of those resources, we are weak. And that is what this virus has exposed. That look, going cap in hand to Abuja may not work in the next few weeks if we don't begin to think well. And if you look at it, the sunshine that is the source of all energy. Nature has not withdrawn that sunshine from us. We can still go back and do other things. The rain, we still have rainfall. The seasons have not changed. We can still go back to agriculture. If you look at it, the environment is still very conducive. We do not have any plague or any what do you call that, like locusts or worms or whatever that is affecting our farms. So all that we need to do now is to begin to think. State governors particularly must begin to think out of the box and see how the capacity of people of their states will be improved and developed, and they will begin to think as if they are federal government on their own, how to generate resources, not how to go and look for resources, not how to go and borrow. If you must borrow to make investment on how to multiply the retail resources that are in the state. And if state governments do this all over the 36 states, very soon Nigeria will be feeding the rest of Africa, not only West Africa.
The program is Perspectives this morning, and highlight of it is on what SOCAPU is doing to cushion the effect of this coronavirus that's hitting all over the place. And of course, the president of this union, Honorable Jonathan Asake, a former member of the Federal House of Representatives, represented Zango Nkataf and Jama Federal Constituency, and of course, SA to a Special Assistant to President Olusegun Obasanjo on National Assembly matters, and a one-time interim chairman of Zango Nkataf local government. Now, President, Southern Kaduna People's Union, SOCAPU, sharing thoughts with us in the studios on the coronavirus and how we can help, take it off from our society. And we'll just go for a short break. We'll be back with you.
Invicta FM. Invicta FM.
It's your boy Chris Brown. What's up, y'all? This is Kanye West. What's up? This is Alicia Keys. This is your boy Neo. Invicta FM.
Invicta FM.
Welcome back as the program Perspectives this morning, and Honorable Jonathan Asake, President, Southern Kaduna People's Union, SOCAPU, with us in the studios, and just getting to know how much SOCAPU is coming in to, put smiles on the faces of the vulnerable in our society and, of course, the needy. Well, SOCAPU, it's spread, and how much, that it can reach to the people in all nooks and crannies of the state.
Yeah, not necessarily that we have to reach all the nooks and crannies of the state. Like I said, other efforts are being made. Number one, the government is already doing that. Number two, church organizations or faith-based organizations are doing that. Number three, other groups and individuals are doing that. So, like I said earlier, it is a complementary effort. And no effort, in our own opinion, is too small. We will start within Kaduna metropolis, especially the suburbs, and like I said, the baggy displaced people. They are there in homes being hosted by their own relations and kinsmen, and it has been difficult for those families hosting them. You see one person hosting 3 members of a family. Even where to sleep is a problem, not to talk of what to eat. So they are really facing challenges. So we will also start with those areas. Then we will now receive reports from local governments where we think the problem is critical. We know it's not only about food. Within this lockdown, there are people that have health challenges, like somebody that is hypertensive. He needs to take his drugs every time, and if he doesn't have access to those drugs, there is a problem. So, and a lot of times you may find out that somebody just need about 1,000 or 2,000 to get those drugs and to remain alive. So, such people challenges again, where we are able to get information about them, we'll go there to the rescue. And so we're starting from Kaduna and environs, and then Bagi communities, Adara communities, and then we'll go to other local governments, depending on what we have and what we are getting.
Do we have numbers coming from you that one can reach you in any way, or that this situation too, it might turn out to be an overwhelming situation for Sukapu?
Yes, we have numbers that we have released in social media. In fact, about 4 or 5 numbers that we have released on social media, and with the request for donation from the public. And I think I will release one of those numbers in the course of this discussion. One of the numbers here is 080 28 59 35 52. I repeat again, 080 28 59 35 and 52. And material donations like food items and other essential commodities are to be channeled to our Sokapu Secretariat, number 1 Stephen Shekeri Close at Gwari Avenue in Barnawa. That is where our office is. Anybody who has yams or mudu of rice or any other items, toiletries and whatever, is to take it to Sokapu Secretariat. But we have more numbers of contact that we have passed to social media in Facebook and the rest. And then we have our account also. And the account where Sokapu account, that is Southern Kaduna People's Union, Sokapu. And the account is in Polaris Bank, and it is 17701960. 1770196060. Polaris Bank. That is our account number. Any donation, if somebody wants to give directly, you can also call these numbers, and then you can tell us where to meet you and take delivery of the items, that, or if it is cash. But we discourage cash because cash is also another way of spreading this virus, and that is why cash donations, we will discourage it as much as possible.
All right, my colleague Prince Ehenacho will give out the numbers, to call to be part of this conversation, and of course to ask your questions about how Sokapu can come in to help, and of course and how you can help in this course too, this course of serving humanity. Numbers now.
Okay, to be a part of the conversation, you have questions or suggestions to make, call the numbers 081 40000 989 or 070 87 800 989. That is 081 40000 989, 081 40000 989, and 070 87 800 989. 070 87 800 989. We'll take your calls now and find out what your thoughts are. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Musa Bala, and I welcome Mr. Jonathan in the studio. Let me start by commending the effort made by Sokafu to reach the most vulnerable or the needy at this time of need. And I want to pray, may God take us to the end of this disease or this pandemic. My question is, in his analysis, he made mention of some crisis that is taking place within Kajuru and Chokol, and they've made a lot of effort toward that. My question, please, Mr. Jonathan, I don't know why Southern Kaduna, particularly for the past 40 years, has been engulfed one crisis or the other. Even though I know Kajura Chikun is not part of Southern Kaduna, but you've taken part, you took interest to solve the problem. But particularly, why is the problem? If it is spillover from Southern Kaduna to Chikun Kajuru, my question would be answered. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Bala, for calling. We'll take more calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, you're welcome. What's your name?
My name is Comrade Gabriel, the unpaid man.
Comrade Gabriel, let's hear you, please.
I welcome your case, and in fact, with explanation, we definitely know that they are very, very serious in assisting us. Mine is that, in fact, you spoke about the revival of most of these, like the coaching and others. Those days, if you come to Ghana, you will not even waste 2 days. You everything went off. Nobody is talking about reviving most of this industry. Like I'm appealing to the Sakapo president. We have been 18 years since the closure of Ghana Desert Limited and we are not advanced. Nobody give us anything. And even in the studio, they have once the meter season or that came with a record of about 686 people who died. It is not a lie. I say if it's lie, you give me arrested so that I can be able to explain. So we are playing seriously that a lot of us cannot be able to beat. 18 years now, nobody pay us any cover. So we are playing with Sakapo to intervene. Put letting add his voice to this out there, it's not exactly limited workers and all are not advantage. May the Almighty God place your effort and place in data for giving all this opportunity in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much for calling, Comrade Gabriel. You want to respond to that, Mr. Asake?
Well, the first caller talked about it, asking the question why there are incessant crises in the southern Kaduna, and he also ended up by saying that even though Kajuru and Chukun are not part of southern Kaduna, let me start by correcting that. Kajuru and Chukun are part of southern Kaduna. Southern Kaduna People's Union is an umbrella organization of ethnic nationalities that are in this zone called Southern Kaduna. And the ethnic nationalities are numbering up to about 67, including the Bagi and the Adara. It is not Kaduna South Senatorial District, which is 8 local governments. Many people mistaken it. Southern Kaduna is not Kaduna South Senatorial District. So all these ethnic nationalities, the Adara, the Bagi, the Baju, the Achap, and then if you go to Kauru local government, you find about 20 ethnic nationalities there. You go to Lere local government, you have about 9 ethnic nationalities. Sanga local government, about 17 or 18 ethnic nationalities. So if you bring all these nationalities together, so Southern Kaduna covers up to about 12 local governments. It is not Kaduna South Senatorial District, which is 8 local governments. So I want to correct that. And
Okay.
he talked about the incessant crisis. Yes, every crisis has come with its causes, what has caused it. But most of what we have had in recent times is not crisis. It is invasions of communities. Invasions. Even the day before yesterday, communities were invaded in Kasara, on your way to Burningwari. That is a Bagi community. In fact, other villages like Batna were invaded, and Kujeni in Kajuru was invaded just the day before yesterday. And these invaders, they call them armed bandits or Fulani herdsmen or whoever they are. They always come at odd hours when nobody is suspecting, oftentimes when people are asleep, and they invade the village, kill people, burn the community, and people will run and leave the communities. So, and oftentimes again, they kidnap, they abduct other people into the bush and collect ransoms and kill other people there. We have a compendium of all these atrocities that are being committed. So it is not actually crisis, it is invasion of communities, which the authorities will do well to really work hard to stop, because the rural dweller is only a farmer. He does not do anything else. And in these difficult times, when you are again displaced from your community, there's nothing you can do. So I think I have it's not actually crisis recently, it is invasion of communities. And the man that talked about the textiles, actually this is what we're talking about. We had these textiles, and it was actually fetching a lot of revenue for us in this country. And all of a sudden, when oil came, we abandoned all these things. But the oil that we have so dependent upon, the budget that we made was made at how many dollars per barrel? And today, it went on an exponential drop down to $3 per barrel. Today, it is even $0 per barrel. So nobody needs our oil. So that is why I say we have to think of the box. These textile industries that we have everywhere, if we can strengthen the agricultural sector, cotton will come back to life, and it will now become that chain effect will now be feeding our textiles, and we are going to be one great textile nation that will feed the whole of Africa and even the parts of the world, because people like our fabrics.
Okay. Let's take more calls. 081 40,000 989 and 07087 800 989. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes.
This is Edward Outa.
Edward, it's good to have you. Good to have you join us. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to commend the leadership of Sokapu for this wonderful initiative. This is a time that civil society organizations and groups like Sokapu should partner with government to ensure that they bring one or two help to the most vulnerable in our society. So we want to also join our voices to call the good people of Kaduna State to key into this initiative so that more and more people can be reached. Because the reality is that no matter how the government tries, they will not be able to reach everybody. And we also want to call on government to take advantage of this Sokapu initiative, to partner with them and partner with similar organizations. That is the surest way that these palliatives that government is providing can actually reach to the people, to the target people. Because if you leave these things in the hands of politicians, there is a tendency for nepotism, for cronyism, and all other factors that can mitigate against the effective distribution of these palliatives, as the Sokapu president has observed in the course of the conversation. So this is my contribution. I commend them most sincerely, and please, the rich among us should also take advantage of this initiative to see what they can do. God has blessed them to bless others, and I believe together we can save the most vulnerable in our society.
All right, Alta. Thank you, Edward, for calling. We'll take more calls, and before we come back to our guest, Honorable Jonathan Asake, who would be responding to your questions and comments. The numbers to call again, 081 40,000 989 and 07087 800 989. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. We can hear you. Go ahead. Okay, sounds like the network did you in. Try to call back 081 40,000 989 and 07087 800 989. We have a few more minutes to close it. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Perspectives. What's your name?
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome to Perspectives.
Good morning. This is Honorable Michael George.
Good to have you.
I greet the Honorable Jonathan Asake Gerson.
Thank you.
And I'm happy about the initiative by the Southern Kaduna People's Union. And I believe this will further strengthen the union much more. So I want to call on all stakeholders and all people that are stronger financially and in whatever way to also contribute to this quarter. And also I want to call on the unions, make sure these palliatives are shared judiciously to those that really need it. And also I would like to make my contributions in advising that most of our youth who are at home doing nothing should be used to share these palliatives home to home. I believe this will reduce the risks of infection and other things. And the government also should also support such initiatives and also partner with sister unions in other regions in the state, so that at least these palliatives will reach the most vulnerable in our society.
And thank you very much. That's my contribution, and all the best of the day.
Okay, thank you so much, Michael, for calling. Honorable Asake, you want to respond to Edward Altar and Michael?
Yeah, in fact, Edward brought a very crucial point there, partnership. That is what we have been looking for. And this partnership is more necessary. In fact, if we had ever had a time that we need to partner and hold our hands together, it is this time when we're faced with a common enemy. Like I said, the coronavirus is a common enemy to us. And so no matter the friction that had existed before, when the enemy like coronavirus has come, it will not know who is on this side or who is on the other side. In fact, everybody is a target. And so we need this partnership. Government, we need to partner not only with Sokapu, but all other socio-cultural groups and NGOs and other civil society organizations. Particularly, the production of face masks is very important. It has been found that the production of face masks reduces the spread of this virus to a very large extent. And the state government or organizations that have the resources will do well to produce this test masks, like the Cross River State government. I read yesterday that they even had to donate some face masks to Kano State government. Whether that is true or not, but I know they have been on mass production of face masks, which actually is necessary. So I'm calling on the government of Kaduna State for this partnership and to also endeavor to produce face masks and which we can partner for the people to get across.
Okay.
And a testing center also in the southern part of Kaduna State. Up till now, we do not have a center that can test this effectively, the virus, So if we can have this and a center for treatment in the southern part of Kaduna so that people will not have to be, transported all the way over 250 kilometers to Kaduna Township or so. And this will be also very good. And I want to use this opportunity to thank all the people that have donated towards this noble cause. This is a call for humanity. This measure of love, we are so appreciative. I want also to thank government for the effort government has made so far in seeing that this disease is curbed, because our borders were surrounded. We may be doing our own, but our neighbors may not be doing effectively what we ought to do. So for what government has done in terms of securing our borders, in terms of ensuring we observed the sit-at-home order and other measures and providing palliative measures is highly commendable. And I want to still call on all individuals and groups to still not get tired, but to continue to see what we can do to help the needy.
Let's continue to see what we can do. Honorable Jonathan Asake, Southern Kaduna People's Union President, thank you so much for being here with us. And to your entourage and members of your team, we want to say thank you for coming around. And we hope that this initiative, Kaduna people will key into it, and well-meaning Nigerians as well will be a part of it to see that the Kaduna people find soccer in this time. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and we hope that you would find success as you continue. My name is Ihanacho Prince. I'd love to say thank you to everybody who joined in on the program. Thank you to Tony Alabi, who held it down from beginning. I want to say that we would continue to wash our hands and observe social distancing. It's one of the things that we need to continue to do at this time, and stay at home so that we can all stay safe. It's been Perspectives. Thank you, and bye for now.